Hey, would it be? It's your boy Dre OG. Welcome back to the OG family. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you're rocking with the vibes and the content, man. 50% of the people that watch my channel are not even subscribed. Go ahead and hit that subscription button. You feel me? That's the least you can do at this point because you're addicted. Let's get it. But look, man, we got this. If you had pretty privilege your whole life and now it's fat. People wanted me to do this video right here, man. They said it's interesting. We just gonna hop straight into this motherfucker though, man. But look, I want y'all to know, just because you're fat does not mean that you're attractive. I don't see how y'all always contribute pretty with and not being pretty and combine that shit with fat. There's a lot of beautiful big women out here that are fat, but that's okay that you're fat. Let's get an understanding that just because you're big does not mean that you're ugly. But we're gonna see what this video has to offer. I just have to tell y'all that because I ain't that type of dude. I'm just not.
If you've had pretty privilege like your whole life, can you stitch this and tell me like what your worldview is? Like, do you think that people are really nice? Because I just recently got like a degree of pretty privilege and it has been insane how kind people are when they find you attractive. And it is very hurtful, I'll tell you that much. People who literally wouldn't even look at me before now like they go out of their way to be kind to me, and I'm like, hey, like that's cool, good for me, because now I'm privileged. But like, what is it? Like, it's not even their fault. It's probably like a completely subconscious thing or unconscious or I don't know, whatever. But like
What?
Rude. Hey, if you've had pretty privilege like your whole life, can you stitch this and
Yes, girl, let's talk about it because it needs to be talked about. Okay, so let me get my credentials out of the way really quickly. A few years ago, I looked like this. Now I look like this, and that has given me the power to experience both the best and the worst that pretty privilege has to offer. Also, not to go super psychological on y'all, at 9 o'clock in the morning, look up the halo effect on Google and learn more about this. So now let's talk about what pretty privilege actually looks like. It's little subtle things that you wouldn't notice before. So for example, not being charged for that.
Little subtle things like before you wouldn't show your whole body in pictures, and now you have a tank top showing your titties and titty meat and your stomach line. Okay, we're gonna keep going.
Extra drink or dessert at a restaurant, having someone offer to put the air in your tires rather than see you struggle doing it. And you can tell me like, oh my god, Kelsey, like maybe people are just good, or maybe they're just doing a good deed. And I'm okay, I'm with you, they're doing a good deed, but why didn't they do that good deed when I was 257 pounds, huh? Why did all of a sudden all these good deeds start happening to me the moment I look like this? Because I went from like one good deed happening to me to a year to 10 of them happening to me in a week. That's not a coincidence. I'm sorry.
hey,
And why the fuck is that why is that a problem though? That's called preference though. That's called preference, yo. And we all know, you know what I'm saying, we gotta snap out of this false reality, bro. Like, you're a woman and you're 5'5", you are 200 and something pounds, you are obese. Most guys aren't gonna go for that, but not to say that you're not attractive. We just know that it's unhealthy. Be honest. Call a spade a spade. Y'all beautiful in your own way, but look, man, you know what it is. Get yourself together.
hey, if you've had pretty privilege like your whole life, can you stitch this and
Okay, but yes. So I work in the service industry, right? I'm a bartender. And if you were unaware, the way you look influences it a lot. Whether that's tips or how people treat you, it just does. And when I tell you that my whole life changed when I started getting help for my eating disorder, which resulted in weight gain after the pandemic, I really didn't expect this to make me cry, but people don't even look you in the eye anymore. They're not nice to you, especially men. Like, I would walk up and say, hey, how's it going? You know, how are you? And I used to get, I'm doing really great, honey. How are you? Now it's a little more like, hey, how's it going? What can I get? 2 Coors Lights and a Bud Light. And for people saying that that doesn't actually happen, please raise your hand if you would willingly like to live as a fat person. And the fact that no one raises their hand makes the point. And it just makes you feel hopeless. Like, am I ever going to be worth more than my looks?
if you've had pretty privilege
Let me be honest on that one, y'all. Like, fuck are we talking about here? Like, you know what I'm saying? What are we talking about here? Look, man, you got big, gain weight. Maybe it's not that you know, everybody's not treating you good or whatever it may be. It's that you know that you gained weight and you don't feel like you used to internally. I've been there, so I can speak from that perspective. I've been there. You start to change. You're not the same person that you used to be, and it's easy to be like, oh, women don't fuck with me like that no more. You want to know what it is? It's your energy, how you presenting yourself to the world. You have to be whatever you want to be. Let's stop all of this. Oh, I couldn't do it because of this. We have to strengthen our minds, people. It goes for everybody. Strengthen your mind, bro. Change your energy. People will treat you differently, man. Like, it's not all about attraction. Comes from many different things. It's not just appearance. It's about your energy too as well. People are attracted to energy. I know I'm attracted to certain types of energy. Y'all get what I'm saying? Too deep.
Like
That's what
your
she
whole
said.
life. Can you stitch this?
I am way too fucking sensitive to be contributing to this. My hand is literally shaking, but I'm gonna try. I am also very aware that by fitting into the beauty standard and by being white, that I am a very privileged person. So none of this is to insinuate that my experience has been harder than other people's. Obviously fucking not. This is just some of what my experience has been living in this particular meat sack. All my life, almost every single time that I was acknowledged for something that wasn't my physical appearance, it was prefaced by the word actually. You're actually really smart. You're actually really funny. You're actually really nice. And that made me deeply insecure. That fully conditioned me to think that the things that I find valuable about myself are just invisible to other people. It never occurred to me that people's misunderstandings and preconceived notions about me were on them. I took that on and I was like, that's my fault. I'm not doing a good enough job at proving myself to people and I gotta do better. And funnily enough, the desperate need to feel seen and understood makes you very easily manipulated by the old men that are preying on you.
You've had pretty privilege like your whole life. Can you stitch this?
Yeah, girl, let's talk about it. So it's 100% true that pretty privilege does exist. And yes, it is absolutely rude how when people find you attractive, they're generally just nice to you for that reason and that reason only. Until you are a woman in a power position who steps into a male-dominated industry. And then you might as well be carrying around a tray with coffee and snacks. Pretty privilege actually becomes nearly the opposite, at least in my experience. So I swear the logic is if you're pretty, you have nice hair, you have your makeup done, you have a nice outfit, you possibly could not be in a power position or have any intelligence whatsoever. So for me personally, I work in construction management on multi-million-dollar jobs, and I can't tell you how fun it is to have my emails ignored and people literally talk to my male coworker and just act like I am there to serve them. So yes, while pretty privilege is a thing, it can be switched in the opposite direction.
Hey, if you've had pretty privilege...
Hey, see, this is the thing with people, man. We always feel like that we need to be accepted within a group of people that don't want to fuck with us like that. Like on that level. Like, bro, if it's a group full of men that just want to chill with men, like at a workspace where it's just, we can talk our shit and not have to tippy-toe around certain topics because women are around, then that's what the fuck we want to happen. Not saying that we got anything against you. It's just saying that we just want to be men. That's it. Ain't nothing about you, shawty. Like, it's good. You look good with what you got on, what you got going on and shit. It ain't nothing outside of that. Y'all already see how that could be when men or women are in the same workplace and then men talk like men and then we get fucking reported and now we're fucking getting fired or in jail and shit about some bullshit. Like, look, just want to avoid the bullshit, people. Let's tell the truth. Let's start telling the truth. Don't get mad about this shit. Let's tell the truth.
Like your whole life. Can you stitch this? And
Someone said it. Before anyone comes to me, I'm not calling myself pretty, but I used to be like a really ugly kid. Like laughing stock of the school, ugly. Got asked if I was a boy, ugly. And people used to look at me the way that you look at someone who has food stuck in their teeth and talk to me like I was disabled. Kind of grew into my features and that whole attitude changed. Anyone who grew up the ugly kid knows exactly what I'm talking about. Weird, but it's true.
hey, if you've had pretty privilege like your whole
That
life,
ain't tell me shit, right?
can you stitch this? And
Hello, so I don't know if I'm qualified to talk about this because some of y'all be looking like IG models in real life, but here's my experience.
No, they don't.
So basically,
they
this
don't.
is how I look like throughout high school. No makeup, my hair's not really done. I haven't really changed much. So first, I'm going to talk about my experience with the guys. So basically, I've never gotten treated bad by a guy, and I'm not talking about relationships. I'm talking about guys that I'm just meeting or that are my friends. Hearing stories about these unconventionally attractive girls, talking about how guys disrespect them and look over them, it was mind-blowing to hear because I've never had that experience ever. Guys are usually nice to me, and I would say 99% of my guy friends have either found me attractive or wanted to date me. I can usually get guys to do whatever I want if it's reasonable. Like, if I need them to do this or that or give me money or whatever, like, they'll do it. And now recently that I've started wearing makeup and, posting on IG, I've had even more attention from guys that would overlook me in high school. Now they want me.
Hey, if
You can
had
tell
pretty
she was one of those girls that was gonna develop like later on, but she was always pretty. It's a lot of women, bro. Like, you don't bloom like that, but I tell you this, like, don't get caught up in the makeup and shit because you was already naturally like pretty. Like, we love that look right there. We like that look when you wait. We can see you and look at you at any point of the day and just like understand like she pretty, how she is. Feel me? Like, that's a big understatement. I like the fact that she was on here though.
privilege, like your
Some
whole
of these other
life.
girls just want to be seen.
Okay, part 2 with how girls treat me. So I don't want to say it's the main reason, but it's one of the reasons why I had a lot of guy friends growing up. Because I look the way I look, guys treated me nicely and girls didn't. I've had many instances where girls that were jealous of me and thought that I wanted to take their boyfriends when honestly it was the other way around. Usually it would be the guys that liked me and I didn't like them back. Maybe this is more of a me thing, but I've always felt like I've had to dim my light when I'm around other girls. Because what happens when I don't dim my light is that guys will try to get my attention and they'll completely overlook my friends. So now it's a different situation. I am friends with girls that uplift me, and I can't have guy friends because I just know that it's not a platonic friendship. They always have an agenda. And on the other side of the spectrum, I also have girls that look to me almost as a leader because of how I look.
If you've had pretty privilege like your whole life, can you stitch this?
First of all, not all men are the way I'm about to describe. In my 10 years of service, I have made some true friends, but they are rare, they're hard to find, and they're not always around. I benefit from pretty privilege in my line of work. I notice it. People often use a friendlier tone of voice with me than they do with other people, but they don't want to be friends with me. The faithful married ones don't want to spend time around me at all. The shady married ones want to spend too much time around me. The single ones sometimes become my friends, but they usually stop spending time with me once they get a girlfriend, and some men pretend to be my friend, but once I turn down their sexual advances, at the worst of times, this happens. I have pretty privilege, 100%, but girl, I would trade in that friendly tone of voice for a real friend every single time.
She went down a whole fucking rabbit hole full of. That's fucked up though. Like, you feel me? Like, I don't want to just shit on that whole parade right there, but that shit crazy. At the end, like, see, like, it's hard for me to believe and see certain things like that. Like, these dudes exist because the energy. It's all about energy, folks. I haven't been around these type of dudes that be beating up on women and doing shit like that. I just never. You'll never see those type of people around me. And if they done those type of things, I don't know nothing about it, never seen it, because that's not the way we roll over here, you know? Don't care what color, what age, none of that shit. Everybody around me will get treated with respect until you prove otherwise. That's just simply what it is, man. It's all about energy. But she was saying, she's right in a lot of those aspects. Yeah, the married, committed ones don't want to be around your ass. And I feel you. I wouldn't want to be around you either. It's simply out of respect, and then, the ones that the shady ones, yeah, they gonna want to be around you. She hit all those spots, man. But the dudes that, if you turn down their advances, I've never had any type of homeboys, man. Y'all let us know in the comments down below some of the things that y'all experiencing. Me doing these type of videos is just to get the, to get both sides of the conversation out there, man. Let's be real about these things. Let everybody in 2022 get the fuck out your feelings, and let's be realistic about how we live in our lives, man. Let's tell the truth. Feel me? But look, man, I see y'all in the next video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this, man. For those 50% of people that are not subscribed to my channel, if y'all made it to this point, stop fucking playing games with me. But look, I'll see y'all in the next video. And like I always say, spread love, because it's too much hate in this world. Blah.